Good evening, morning, and/or afternoon, Blood Bowl fans. We have come to a long end of the road, and it is now the Big O Week 8 recap. I am here with Thowrick and Mr. Metal. Gentlemen, say hello.
Hello.
Hello, chaps. Good evening. I'm being very British for this one. I
Yep,
don't know why.
still not very motivating in my opening line here.
That's fine.
I'm just reminding the colonialists that what an English accent sounds like.
Yes, very good indeed. Chip Chap. The Big O is a week behind, so this is the most current recap for them. So they're probably like, hooray!
Yeah,
And
is it? Are we actually doing day for them? Yeah, we are. Aren't
yeah, we're actually current. We're still waiting on one match to be played, Bad Phoenix versus New World Order. But Capital
we? You know
Rats
what?
3-1.
Before we do this too much, I want to jump in. Yeah, I love Capital Rats getting the 3-1, but I want to jump in and say big shout out to Walkathon for making his games, given the guy's got pneumonia.
Oh,
Now, how to God you get pneumonia in Australia? I don't know. Especially this time of year when it's the hottest. But yeah, we hope our thoughts are with you, Walkathon. Seriously, get better soon, man. Because I know
Yeah.
that's no fun.
That is no fun. Don't die.
No, he's good. He's on medication now. He's on the drugs. They're making him better. But I just wanted to let him know. I've just spoken to him in Discord a little bit. But we are thinking about you, dude. And seriously, man, how do you get pneumonia in Australia? Please, draw me a diagram. Okay. Capital Rats 3-1. Good boys. Well done. That's what we like.
It is what we like.
See, I care. I'm a nice person, unless you don't roll your level ups. If Walkathon hadn't rolled his level ups, there'd have been nothing down for him. All right?
so if you have to call yourself a nice person, are you really a nice person?
No.
So you will lie.
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
I was about to fall to my actual catchphrase if I never said I was a nice person, but then realized that I have just got through saying I was a nice person.
Yeah, there's audio evidence.
Audio evidence. Audio evidence. Well, we unfortunately lost the coach, but we gained a coach for next week, so we've already talked about that. The Valhalla Valiance. I don't even care if I butcher your name.
I'm sorry, Gabe Newell has a company to run, dude.
That's true.
He can't just stick around and roll dice with us all the time.
I guess.
Even if the dice are always sixes because you're on Steam.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got... This is Marker, which is Liam Coulson's dad, if you watched the last video, and if you didn't watch the last video, god damn it.
Why are we even doing this?
I know we've got to pick a team each, and this isn't my pick. I just want to shout this out for being the strangest starting Wood Elf build I ever saw in my entire life. But good on you, dude.
I'm gonna give up my pick, so I'll talk about it. That'll be fun.
Alright, cool. Okay, well then, yeah, that's fine.
Excellent. Alright, so we got a 2-2 for Sorai scorers for the Cold Coast Cutthroats. Capital Rats, obviously, with a 3-1 to the Bay Area Butchers. It's the Speedsters taking a 1-2 to Dwarven Around. White Mass Raiders 2-0 to Joust Abouts. And the Confederacy with a 2-1 to Bash Incorporated. Looking over at the leaderboards, we got Walkerthon taking his place where I remember seeing him.
That's where Walkathon's used to being. You know, it's even pneumonia can't bring this dude down.
Yeah, that's right, Cat. My cat agreed. So he was all like,
I love that your cat is like a joint presenter.
Yeah.
She sits in the background. He sits in the background and agrees.
Both of them do. One of them doesn't say anything. She just sleeps. The other one's very vocal. He's like, yeah, you tell him.
So why doesn't your cat have a mic?
Because he tries to eat them. So this is true. Yes. He tries to tear them up into little bitty pieces, and I do not approve. But yeah, Walkerthon in his rightful spot in the pole position, as we would say, followed by Rentar.
I'm super excited to see Walkathon. You know, if he carries on like this, and as I said, the inability to breathe properly doesn't bring him down too much.
Yeah.
I'm kind of super excited to see him in his first season with a new team in a completely new division actually go on to represent, because you know, they're basically, this is his division. He's one of our admins because he's the only one in the right time zone to be awake to kind of help him out as much as anything. You know, obviously he doesn't make admin decisions. He just sits there and goes, yes, I'll tell someone important about it.
Yeah, he passes it on to either Gengar, or me, or Metal, or Sometimes.
Because, he can't be adminning his own division unless it's a simple reset of a game or something. If it's a decision, we can't do that. But at the same time, he does help look after the division. And, he's a great... I played him when he was on Elven Fantasy, and he's a horrifically scary coach to play against. He's so good.
I actually like what he did with his team.
So is he going to be your pick then, or are we just...
I was actually going to pick a different team, but I mean, why not?
Well, okay. Well, I'll pick him, and you can pick the different team. That's absolutely. Okay. If it wasn't going to be you, it was going to be me. So I'll pick the Astro Orcs and say, I mean, just jump in there. 1530 TV. We just Space Orcs, you stupid git. I'm not sure I like the color of the armor. As an aside.
Man, you're really getting in detail here. I'm not sure if I like the fashion. Yes, the mustard.
You're the dude that keeps saying that pink armor wins seasons. So,
it does.
I mean, well, they're not pink.
The proof is in the pudding.
They're not pink.
Anyway, yeah, no one else here is pink, so...
He's got a huge amount of guard. He's gone guard first on his Black Orcs,
and that's basically what I meant. It's not usually what you go for. I think you usually go block first with the Black Orcs and then guard. But going guard first, it looks pretty nice. So
that just gives
be doing its job.
What I'd like to call the impenetrable. That's the Great Wall of Orc, right? That's the 3 or 4 Black Orcs stood at the front with strength 4 and guard, and a strength 4 blitzer to accompany them. I mean, how do you actually get through that?
And then the troll.
And then the troll for giggles.
Yep.
And then they've also got guard on a blitzer, because why not? That's...
And his blitzers are... He's got one blitzer with guard, so he's a little bit more mobile if need be.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other ones... I mean, the strength 4 is nice, and he's 1 SPP away from getting a level up there, so that guy's going to get annoying very soon.
And, he's got a troll on 4 out of 6, so that's probably guard.
That's guard, yep.
The plus movement on the thrower is really nice, so he's at least a little bit faster. And
I still argue that this thrower is super expensive for a dude that still doesn't have a leader. But what do I know? Because I'm not top of my division.
Yeah.
And I'm among the faction that actually goes block on the thrower first over leader as well.
And
the dirty player is nice as well, so he...
No, he's just got... I mean, he's got a great team, and the results... I mean, you don't need us to tell you whether this is a good team or a bad team. Look at the results. They're winning a lot.
Yeah. That's kind of all that matters. I mean, what do we know?
He's managed to spread the SPP around a lot.
Yeah, he's got
Don't
a good
get me wrong. They're a champion of the grind. They don't, win by lots. They just win.
Mm-hmm. He took the Magic Dome too, so no very sunny, no super hot days, no rain, no blizzards. Interesting choice.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of like that with AG3 because weather can really screw you.
I like it on lizards.
I have to be honest. I usually don't like any of the stadium upgrades because I just don't.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I don't
there is no real reason behind it. I mean, these ones are not that as bad that cancel the kickoff events, but I mean, they're still part of the game, so I personally don't like canceling them out. But I can understand why people go for it. I have no problem with playing.
So are we never going to see a Thalaric team with a stadium enhancement then? No.
Probably not.
Wow. I take it you don't play dwarves then.
Nope.
Because the Bribe Stadium, that's a dwarf thing.
Yeah, it's too good to give up.
Or is it the sandwich kit? No, not the sandwich kit.
I mean, maybe at least
beer stand.
Bear stand.
At least not in the competitive league. In Cole, maybe at some point, but in a league I usually don't go for because I would never play dwarves there to begin with.
Ah, that makes sense. But also, Norse really like the beer stand.
Beer stand, yeah. Goblin's gonna really like the Bride.
Yeah, the Bribe Stadium with goblins, or I do believe
call it being too greedy in giving my opponent an advantage as well.
Humans often like the Nuffles Altar to try and get the good Lord and Savior himself.
Oh yeah, Griff's where it's at. But I'm gonna continue on. I'm gonna carry on. I'm gonna pick my pick because I want to talk about the white lines. Look at them. They actually got white lines on their jerseys. Isn't that nice?
They've got little loincloths with white lines on. That's pretty cool.
Oh, I definitely see what you mean. It is a very interesting.
I don't think I've ever quite seen a Wood Elf team go so balls deep on catches so quickly.
Wait. Okay.
All the catchers.
So that's the new team.
Yep.
This is Liam Coulson's dad.
I mean, I was wondering about why he didn't have any SPP, but that makes sense.
Yeah, this is good old Liam Coulson's father, who's helping us out, fill a gap. But he's gone.
What else can do with just one reroll if they really need to and they play a little bit safer, but that is very aggressive.
It's not the one reroll that bothers me. It's the 4 catches with no apple.
4 catches.
It's like it feels like a Skaven team, almost, with the 4 gut runners.
Yeah.
But I think starting 4 gut runners on a Skaven team is massively ballsy, and usually you only start with 3 personally.
Yeah, and an Apo.
Yeah, and an apple.
What?
Maybe.
We're C. Blood Bowl favors the bold sometimes, you know.
I'm expecting to be shouting this team out every single week for being 3 touchdowns up.
Which is
I mean, ideally they just need to win 1 match and then they have the apple.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
but,
ideally.
I think we're going to be calling these guys out for either having tons of touchdowns every week or having half the team in a body bag.
Yeah. Only time will tell. It'll be really interesting to see.
But seriously, Marco, welcome to the league. Thank you so much for stepping in to fill in that gap. I know by the sound of it, you were planning to join us next season, so you're basically just getting a bit of a head start. Hopefully, it's a head start on SVP and not head start on re-rolling your team.
Mm-hmm.
But I like that we have these coaches who are willing to come in to an established league to help out, so we can get more coaches playing and less bye weeks.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it really helps make the league. No one likes to miss a match. I mean, the reason they play in the leagues is to play matches, not so they can sit around and wait for matches.
That's true.
Yeah, but Metal, do you have a pick?
I did a pick. I did Astrologs.
Oh, that's right.
I kind of was almost about to bully Thalric into picking them, and then realized that was rude, and I wanted to talk about them anyway. So.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk about the Confederacy because we haven't seen a lot of Undead, I think, today already, and they're also they've got a block mummy, which first drew my eye there, so that looks pretty nice because they don't get block usually, so it's a double, I think.
Yeah,
that's a double for a mummy. I mean, they don't have a Negatrait, or a Lorna, but they still have to roll doubles for block because if they no Negatrait or Lorna and block and general as a standard would be too strong.
It used to be that way a long time ago.
He's doing pretty well apparently.
He's really high up the division, dude. Yeah,
and we're just looking at his level ups. They're pretty evenly spread, but they're not that many actually. And he's sporting a lot lot of skeletons, which is not that usual, I think.
This always
usually
surprises
have 1 or 2 skeletons.
Yeah,
apparently it is working right now.
Yeah, he
likes
skeleton
the movement
build
over the toughness.
Yeah, I mean, and I think in the first season it can work because there won't be too much Mighty Blow yet, but in later seasons it could become a problem, maybe.
Well, I think almost the hope is with Undead, you kind of fill in if you're going to start skeletons like this, I think you're kind of hoping to fill in the zombie gap by killing the opponent.
Yeah, probably.
That way you never actually have to pay for the zombies, but get the zombies eventually.
Yeah. And
I also want to say real quick, I've played the Brain on Slugs in Col, and he's genuinely a lovely bloke.
Oh, that's always nice.
I mean, he absolutely craps on me because he had a much better team than I did. But when I I was playing Chaos, and when I hurt his players, he didn't complain. He didn't rage quit. He just sucked it up, and we were talking, and and I was like, I know your name from somewhere. Where do I know your name from? He's like, oh yeah, I play in the Big O. And I was like, that's awesome, man. And he's genuinely lovely guy. So I'm super happy to see him do well.
Yeah, I agree. I've at least had some contact on him on Reddit and in a different league, I think, although I haven't played him there. Something like that. Oh, I think I can agree on all of that. And I just wanted to point out here to get back to the team. I like what he did with the white. So he had one with Mighty Blow, and the other one he did give tackle to. So went for the tactical choice there to go have something against dodge.
That's quite interesting as well, because a lot of coaches tend to either go for the early guard on white, which I personally don't like because I think it really slows them down in development. I like grabbing Mighty Blow on a white first and guard as the second choice.
Yep.
But the tackle is a great decision because
I really like that.
You need tackle somewhere.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Especially otherwise, you end up in a situation where if he does, he's not far off top, so he could be going to the playoffs.
And
And
you're
if he
gonna need
does go to the
tackle.
playoffs and meet anyone from G-Man, you're gonna wish you had more tackle.
I really like tackle where it is because the whites make good blitzers, but I always like having the ball hawk ghoul wrestle, tackle, strip ball
Yeah, that's good.
because they
It
got the
looks like he
movement.
just didn't get the chance to build one of those yet. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
he's
the
got the
hard thing
sure
about
hands
the
one.
Big O.
Not just that, but also you got to remember this is his first season. He's got 4 ghouls, so there's clearly SPP hogger there on Southern Bell Hell, and I think it's so easy when you get that star player, or what is your team's star, your touchdown monster, to continually feed them, and it becomes habit. And you got to remember to try and share the SPP around more.
And it's also the question always: can you afford to do that? I mean, it's one of the steps that you at some points have to get. This problem with the Lizardmen as well, that you need to kind of feed your SPP to certain players to give them level ups, and just having the sure hands makes it harder to give the ball away to somebody who doesn't. And he could get some really easy level ups if he just feeds the touchdown to some of his whites, for example. They're both really close.
But he's got one white that's on a touchdown.
Yeah, and the other one is just an injury
A touchdown
and
and
the
advantage
touchdown away.
parents. Yeah.
And hey, shout out to Kaldor Ditka, I believe, from Beyond the Beef. He's got an undead team where both mummies have a touchdown each.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So, Robert EP is a touchdown away.
It's a 5S catch.
It's not easy, but he's done it on both mummies.
But I mean, it's what you do on Lizardman teams as well when trying to feed touchdowns to the Sarai.
Yeah, if you're winning and you've got a Sarai,
mummies are significantly slower, so it's harder to pull off because you basically need to move them down the pitch the entire half for them to even get there. But it's nice.
Well, as I say, I'm not saying he should do it, but I'm saying it has been done.
Yep.
So don't assume it can't be done.
It's definitely doable.
Yeah. All right. I like it. I like it a lot. So one more look at the Yeah, one more look and then let's go hop over to the newbie noobs. I just wanted to give the old leaderboard a look over. That second place spot's really tight. 4 teams with 4 wins, or 5 teams, 6 teams, 6 teams. I can't count. A lot of teams that are really jockeying for that second place to go to playoffs.
5 teams, Gamba. 5 teams.
7 teams, 8 teams, 13 teams, 13 teams. All of the teams. All right, over to the newbie league.
Never tell me the odds.
Never tell me the odds. All right, how am I little?
Have you found the newbie league okay, Thalric?
That one I haven't actually looked up yet, so...
REL G-Man Newbie League.
If you search for Rel G-Man, you'll probably find it. Or just search for newbie, I think it'll show up as well.
Got it.
All right, Newbie League. I'm going to take a break from being the guy talking about stuff, but there's a 4-0.
There's a what now?
A 4-0.
There's a 4-0, boys. Eat man things.
Your favorite team.
They aren't quite my favorite team.
Your favorite team ever.
My refrigerator Raiders are one of my favorite teams because technically I'm supposed to be coaching them, and really I've answered like 2 questions ever and just cheered him on from the background. But it's worthy of note. He gave me positive feedback to say that I've done when I've actually when he's needed me, the answers have helped. So I'll take that.
There you go. What can you say?
Seriously, honestly, when you're having a season like this, you barely need a coach. I mean, the guy is not putting a foot wrong. He's played brilliantly. And the results speak for themselves, dude. He's top of the table, 7-1-1.
Yeah.
I want to see real quick. I'm gonna look at the schedule and say yes, there was a 4-0. Couple of 2-1. Okay, I'll do it. Bring us that fire. Drew Potato plays for Dares 0-0.
No shows.
No shows. That's sad.
Womp,
That's real sad.
womp,
So on both sides?
Yeah.
Yeah, neither one told us what happened, so we just 0-0'd it.
0-0.
Okay.
Man thinks 4-0 Dream Memes. Nah, that's kind of sad for Dream Memes, but super happy for Man things. That's an awesome result. Well done. 4-0. Good job, dude. Good job. I'm hoping I'm going to click in there and not see a concede. No, I'm not. Good. Even better. We've got Dark Poison 1-1 versus the Spice Ghouls. Great name. Love it.
Oh, yes.
2-1 Treat Kundo versus The Last War. Also 2-1 Refrigerator Raiders versus the Old Boring Humans. Cookie Munchers grabbed a 2-0 against Terrible 12, but that was unfortunately a bye.
Yeah,
And
Terrible
I believe
12s are no more.
the White Men Ravagers also buyed against Reichling Kings, if I'm not incorrect.
No, I think they
Or did they
played.
not? No, the Reichling Kings are your boys, aren't they?
Yeah, they played.
My bad. My
Yeah,
bad. Yeah,
the
that was a
white
2-0
main
Men.
Ravagers have a brutal team. That is the team I will most likely be picking to look at.
Well, I'm not necessarily going to talk about Road Dogg because I spent a lot of time talking about it last time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to really jump into this. There's so many teams around here that we've kicked out. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
Most of them are admin teams. But I'm just going to quickly look in and see if he's taken our advice, and he does look like he has. That's wonderful news. Yeah, he's not yet gone for the death roll, even though he's got the cash. Okay, cool. Good job, Road Dogg. Keep going, man. You're doing well. I like the way the team's developing. You got the Mighty Blow coming through. You got the guard coming in. It's awesome. I like it. Okay.
He likes it a lot.
So, what are your picks, guys? Let's go with Thalric. Let's go with Thalric.
I think I'd like to look at the Reichland Kings. So the human team that's in second place right now. Yep.
Dahumis.
Yes.
And this is Gamba's.
Yes.
Gamba's mentee.
Yes.
Okay, they look really nice so far. I mean that especially that first blitzer with the 32 SPP is just pretty impressive. Going dodge there first is nice. I mean, it's block dodge is always useful, and then he has a bunch of guard.
Block dodge guard is always a great piece.
With
to be honest,
strip ball.
Not too sure about the strip ball choice there. But it's not necessarily bad because with dodge he can move around easier.
I think looking at the team, it's just the strip ball came at a time when he realized he started to need strip ball.
Yeah, it makes sense, and it's not necessarily a bad pick, but I'm not sure I would have gone for that, just because of the guard that he also has. But I can see the need for it as well.
I think my feedback for this team, it's a really nice looking team. Got a lot of guard, got a lot of strength. Obviously the stat busts hurt, but it's on Agi on a kick lineman's not a big deal. Movement on a thrower, not so much depending on how you're using the thrower. If he's more of an actual thrower rather than a ball carrier, that's no issue because you don't need to move fast anyway. The big thing that jumps out at me that he's missing is he really needs to get Harold Wolf up and develop him as a killer because he's got no killer blitzer.
Yep,
I love a Mighty Blow piling on tackle.
Yep.
Potentially pro. Mighty Blow, piling on, tackle, pro in that order on a blitzer. And you've just got a monster killer that's just going to carry games by taking out important players.
In my opinion, he could use one more catcher as well instead of one lineman. So because he has only one catcher right now, and that one has guard as well, so it's not necessarily an obvious receiver.
Yeah, he's not going to be a good ball carrier necessarily because you don't want the guard on the ball carrier, you want the guard on the guys around the ball carrier.
Yep.
But I mean, that's like the catcher's an easy thing to pick up because he can afford it now, technically. And I consider maybe sacking the Agi busted lineman just because kick is nice, but long term you don't want him to absorb SPPs on an Agi bust from MVP or even from the occasional lucky block. But I think definitely he needs to get a killer.
Yeah, that's true. So probably either go for Mighty Blow on one of the other ones next, or just put Harold Wolf as you said. Give him Mighty Blow as his first level up.
First level up.
Just feed him 2 touchdowns if possible.
Because feeding human players feeding a specific player touchdowns isn't hard because
they've all got agility 3 and blitzers are movement 7, so they're not that slow.
And he's got 3 guard. He's technically got 4 guard guys to cage around him. So really, it's actually quite a hard cage to break when you think about it because of all the guard as well.
Yeah, and he's got some linemen with block as well already. So
no, I'm not for a second saying the team isn't in a great spot.
Just that should help as well because he does have some linemen that he can use to cage with as well, and that one with fend as well as a second skill I like.
Yeah, like I say, I mean, our feedback and when we pick the teams in this division, in other divisions we talk about what's great, what we like about the teams. I like to tailor our commentary a little bit on what that team can do to take them to the next level, because obviously these are very, very new coaches.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, like I said, I can't say enough, get a kill piece.
Yeah. I have
Okay.
nothing more to
Should I
say.
feel insulted now?
Why?
Why?
No comment. No. that yeah was a little bit weird.
You're not Swedish.
Yeah, true. But I mean, have you ever heard an American impersonating a German? That is not going full Nazi.
Oh, I was gonna go with Arnold. Eat not a tumor.
It's whether you know Arnold's Austrian, dude.
I know,
Yep,
but I
he's
was gonna
not
go with
German.
Arnold.
That's not a German, dude. You're being racist right now.
Yeah, not really. He's still white. Kind of got you there. I'm being nationalist.
I'm gonna just leave this here and say, Gamba, which team would you like to pick?
I already picked one.
Did you?
White Mane Ravagers. We just didn't get to click on him yet.
Okay, well, yeah. That's not helping, dude.
Hey. Shh.
Go to sleep.
Go to sleep. Shh. Just let it happen.
Why do I do this with you, man?
I don't know. Why do I do this with you?
Apparently the pay is very good.
Why does any of us do this?
Anyway, White Man Ravagers. Gamba's
Alright.
pick.
So I got to watch their week, either 8 or 9 game. I can't remember, against the last WOG. I got to catch the second half of it, and this team is really beefy. We got
I absolutely love this team.
2 guards, strength up, agility up, another strength up,
Another
guard, blodge, and then we have a unfortunately armor busted lineman with the AB5.
Thalric, as our resident juicer, please tell me what you think of this team.
So even though it hurts, I'd probably get rid of the agility 5 lineman, because with armor value 7 and agility 5, he's just going to have a big target painted on his back, and he's going to get blocked a lot. Will just die, so might as well get rid of him.
Yeah, get rid of him before he becomes a problem.
He's still nice to have, and it hurts to get rid of an agility 5 piece, but he's with armor value 7
target on his head.
Yeah, he's not going to live very long.
Especially when the mighty blow starts to come.
Unless he's playing against the last human team we looked at, in which case they don't have any mighty blow anyway, so
That's true.
Aside from that, I really like the team so far. The only thing I would not necessarily agree with is the pick on the guard on the number 10, so Prideful Meridina, because he took kick after the guard. I'd probably go when dodge or block there.
Yeah, I think you need to keep your guard alive.
Yeah, that's the thing. The kick is not a bad choice, but combined with guard,
it's not the best combination.
Not that good.
Now, if it was kick guard, that'd be perfect.
Yep, of course. But because he already had guard, you kind of want to keep him alive longer, and dodge or block would have been better in that case.
I actually would have loved dodge first, because the best trick you can do then, a guard guy, if you get with elves especially, when you get that double for guard, having Agi 4 and then buying them dodge, buying into the dodge train, means that you have this incredibly mobile guard piece. It's like you can't just mark them down because they just dodge out on a 2-up with a reroll.
Yep.
And then just run over to wherever they need their guard and go, I got guard now.
Yeah. Ah, you needed assist? Here they are. I got assist for days.
I mean, they've got a guard strength 4 lineman, which is dumb. That's ridiculous. And especially when he's supported by 2 other guard guys.
And a strength 4 thrower.
No, I love this team, man.
Yeah,
it looks really nice. I mean, he went with the save thing on his thrower, so after getting strength 4 there, he went block next, which makes sense.
Yeah, when you've got a strength 4 thrower, he's gonna get a bit of a target.
I mean, I'm in the camp that goes sure hands on a thrower if possible, because you can still roll a 1 on a 2+ pickup. So I probably still try to get him sure hands next, but even then, he doesn't really need to throw anymore. It's a strength 4 ball carrier.
Yeah, he's a good running back now.
Yep, he just can get him into position, and then at the last point, throw a quick pass or do a handoff to one of the catchers.
And what I was going to say is the thing that high elves usually suffer with when they do use a thrower as a running back is that the thrower is obviously slower than like the blitzers and the catchers and things like that. But the super advantage that this team has is they've got that strength 4 throw with the movement 6, but every one of his guard guys
This
has movement 6.
Yep.
So he could build a nice wall in front of him.
So it's not gonna be the fastest moving elf cage, but it's gonna be one of the safest.
Well, I gotta say, he's already gotten one of his big threats out of the way. The last Wog tried their hardest to stomp in the face, and that's where he got the minus AV, and he didn't blow his Apo. And I was like, whoa, I don't know why he's not Apoing this. And it's a good thing he didn't, because the thrower got stomped on and was dead to return next game.
I like that decision to not Apple then. That's to be
Oh
honest,
yeah, it played out really well.
It depends how early in the game it is.
Yeah.
But the guy was only Agi. He had no other stats, and it wasn't Agi on a thrower or a catcher.
Yeah.
It was Agi on alignment.
No, it turned out to be a smart move. Instead of a pixel, the pixel hugging would have actually cost him a much better player.
And you know what? That's actually amazingly good to see from a newer coach.
Oh yeah.
Because new coaches do tend to get themselves in a world where they love those pixels, and no offense to new coaches, man, but you know, a lot of people make the mistake of treating Blood Bowl like an RPG, where it's like I'm gonna maximize everything. I want to get all the stats. I want to get all of the assistant coaches. I want to get everything. I want to spend, and it's not how it works. And the fact that he already understands how important that is, that's super promising for his career as a coach.
And it's actually, I mean, that's a positive thing. It's actually surprising how his team is looking, because you would expect a lot more SPP on the blitzers and catchers, and it's on the linemen, which usually tend to not level as much on elf teams because the positionals just hog all the SPP, which is not the case here. So he's
got a
and
good spread.
It's actually really nice to level the linemen, especially high elves, because you're normally only ever going to run with 11 to 12 pieces. You don't tend to blow your players out, but you play for the long game with high elves.
Yep. So he can get 2 easy level ups right now on his one blitzer and the one catcher, and that will just push the team forward even further. But aside from that, it's really nice that the linemen are as developed as they are.
Yeah, I agree. I think because it's so hard once you start developing your positionals, it's actually really feckin' difficult to then feed them SPP in a world where they're the least developed pieces. So I do agree strongly, and I like it.
Yep.
I do too. That's why I picked it.
It's almost like you had a plan.
It's almost like I did, and it's all coming together.
Right, I'm gonna grab in EE Man things, because not only did they 4-0, which is feckin' awesome, but they're coached by Ninja Pirate Robo, who has one of the coolest names I've ever heard for a coach ever, frankly. Because what's better than a ninja or a pirate? A Ninja Pirate Robot.
Yeah.
But they're also, the guy knows, he doesn't know that much about Blood Bowl because he's a newbie, I'd assume. He doesn't know all that, but at the same time, he's come up with a brilliant idea for our potential free agent transfer market.
Oh yeah.
So he's thinking, man. He's putting time into the league already, even as a new coach. And it sounds like maybe I'm being snotty that I said that he doesn't necessarily know that much about the game and stuff, but the fact that as a new coach, he's already sitting there thinking how we can make the divisions better and the long term better. I've got a lot of time for that. And I've got a lot of time.
I also have to point out that both of his Storm Vermin have German names.
Yeah, I spotted that too. I don't know where he's from.
I'm gonna guess Germany.
Can you tell me what they mean?
So, number 3, Käsemesser would be cheese knife. And the other one it would be cheese as well, but I don't know how to translate the second part of the word right now. Let me look that up real quick.
Would it be like a cheese board by any chance? Like he's got a cheese fetish? I mean, I knew the Käse
Yep.
was cheese, because I did a bit of German in school, but I didn't know what the second half. I thought Messer was something like master or something. I assumed from.
No, it's knife.
That's bizarre to me. I don't understand why he's got a Storm Vermin.
So apparently it's a plane in like wood plane.
Almost like
a cheese plane.
Which to me could be cheese, like a when you got a cheese board, yeah. That's what I was thinking with the whole knife thing is, you got a big chunk of wood and you put your cheese on it and your crackers and you cut it all up and with your cheese knife. Maybe. I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong, Ninja Pirate Robo, but that's what I'm seeing with the plane, like a surface, yeah.
I get you. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Well, hopefully I'm not massacring your language in front of you, Thalric, and if I've been at all offensive, I'm genuinely not sorry.
I don't know what he's going for, but it's probably another thing to just cut cheese with. I just don't really know how to translate it because there's probably a better word in English for it, as I've tried to just take the two parts and translate them separately. I don't know if there's a different word. I don't know.
If it's worthy of note, if I really needed to know, I'd have probably just plugged it into Google Translate and got a really horrible version of what it's supposed to be. So you've done a better job than I did, and I appreciate your input.
But to get back to the actual Storm Vermin, I like that he as well went with one Mighty Blow and one Tackle here. So he went with a Tackle Storm Vermin.
Yeah, it can be super easy to fall into the greed trap with Storm Vermin.
And he actually has more SPP on the Tackle guy than on the Mighty Blow guy.
Yeah,
nice.
Agreed. Well. It's because, Storm Vermin are hard to level up.
Yeah.
They're hard to get going, but when you get Mighty Blow, it gets a lot easier.
And the fact that you do, at some point, probably need to recycle them if you don't roll a double just makes it worse.
Yeah, but the fact that he decided and made that actual active choice to get the Tackle so early on, that stands him in good stead against all the Agi teams that he's going to face. And I'm a huge fan of Tackle. I think Tackle's a brilliant skill.
Yep. I like that he's got 2 ball hawks kind of in the work and 2 ball carriers.
He's 2 heads in Wrestle and Agi 5 in Wrestle. Basically do the same job.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep. The one just gets a leap. The other one doesn't, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Agi 4 guy won't, but I'd love to see if either of them get another double to get something like Big Hand or something. So you could send one guy in, like the Agi 5 guy, in to bust the Agi 5 guy, if he doesn't get doubles, he'd be brilliant with something like Strip Ball and Leap as the next 2 skills.
Now,
maybe Dauntless along the way.
I was gonna say, if you got doubles, would you take Big Hand over Horns though?
Yes, because Horns doesn't work with Dauntless, and Horns isn't usually enough. Whereas Dauntless puts you on even strength no matter how much strength they've got. Horns only gives you +1.
Okay.
Horns always gives you strength 3 though, while Dauntless you still need to make a roll, and the higher the ball carrier strength, the more difficult
the harder
the
it is to rank the roll. Yeah.
But you can use a team reroll for it, and strength 3 isn't going to help you too much against a strength 4 ball carrier. To be fair, you can uphill regardless.
But you do get an achievement for taking Horns on the Gutter Runner.
That's what I was waiting for. That's what I was waiting for.
Is it any Skaven player, or is it specifically a Gutter Runner?
It's specifically a Gutter Runner.
Oh, well, that's why I haven't got the achievement.
I used to have one on a Cole team, but he died. That's why I know that there is actually an achievement for it.
Well, screw me, right?
Right, yeah.
No, I actually don't know. There's obviously theory crafting behind it, so I actually don't know if Horns or Dauntless is better. It also depends on the situation, I think, because stuff like Guard and the Cage always plays a role as well.
I strongly like Dauntless.
I can see why, but I think both have their uses.
I think the problem is, and I had this question for a long time until I found someone who actually had a Dauntless Horns Gutter Runner to answer the question for me, was because it sounds like the perfect combination, right? Because Dauntless makes you equal to their strength, Horns gives you +1 strength.
Yeah, but Horns applies before Dauntless.
But Horns applies before Dauntless. Okay. And, I was like, because, especially with no offense to anyone who might be listening who may work for Cyanide aren't the best coders in the world. It would be so easy to assume they wouldn't understand how that interaction was supposed to work, and would code it that you got Dauntless, then you got +1 for Horns. That wouldn't be an unfair assumption, I don't think, given that some of the way some other game systems interact kind of jankily. But they do interact in a certain order where Dauntless and Horns together aren't helpful. In any case, I think turning the Agi 5 guy into a leaping, strip balling terror for cage diving.
Oh yeah.
And then praying against Hope for a big hand on the other guy. Can you imagine that team? One of them just runs in and takes the ball off you, no matter how many people you've got around him. Then the other one runs in and takes the ball off the floor and runs away.
Yeah.
I mean, especially the Agility 5 guy. I assume his life will be short, but it will probably be really good.
It'll be short.
When you play teams like these, I think you always have to play under the assumption that they're going to live long enough for them to get where you kind of need them, but you also have to accept the fact that
they're going to shortly die afterwards.
Yeah, when you're giving an Agility 5 guy wrestle and telling him to jump on a cage, you know for a fact there's a foul coming your way.
I mean, I just recently lost an Agility 6 Gutter Runner who I think had for over 30 matches. So
Wow.
Wow.
he lived a very long time, and then he finally bit the dust.
And I'm assuming he probably caused no end of headaches for opponents.
Oh, of course. I mean, I dodging into 2 tackle zones on the 2+ is always fun, and having leap on top of everything to just leap away afterwards and stuff like that, it's fun.
It's worthy of note. I'm also super happy that this is a new Skaven team that doesn't have a Rat Ogre, because I personally hate Rat Ogres. But I know from talking to Ninja Pirate Robo that the reason he doesn't have a Rat Ogre is because it's dead. Not because he chose to not have one, but because someone chose to
Take it away
why
from
Rat
him.
No, someone chose to prove why Rat Ogres are bad. AV8 big guys with Frenzy and Wild Animal aren't necessarily the best.
I tend to agree with the assessment because my Red Ogres tend to die. Always. Which is why I don't get them anymore.
I like to see opponents with Rat Ogres because it's usually an easy kill.
Pretty big loss.
I mean, I understand why there's such a draw to an early Skaven team, because you don't ever have, like, unless you get a lucky boxcar, you don't ever have a strength up piece on a Skaven. You know, you don't have a high strength Skaven player unless you take the Roger.
Yep.
So I understand the draw. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I don't get why you take it, but I think it's a bit of a noob trap almost. For one of, I don't mean to sound offensive when I say that to newer players, but it feels like people get them because they feel they have to because of the strength, and they're so unreliable that they will cause so many turnovers and they will lose you more games than they win you. Unless it's Jerry.
I think it also depends a little bit on what you're going for, because I think Red Ogres in a tournament environment are better because it's just a few matches where they count, and the teams are usually not that developed, but the longer the development goes on, the more of a liability they become because of the ammo value 8. So they're going to get knocked around a lot.
Absolutely agreed. And also, the big thing that I hate them for, and why I disagree with them, is that every turn you blitz with a Rat Ogre, you're not blitzing with one of your Storm Vermin that is dying to get SPP. You need to level Storm Vermin as fast as possible on a Skaven. And if you're giving every blitz to a Rat Ogre, your Storm Vermin are usually sat there taking, like, mop up. Oh, well, someone accidentally based me, or someone forgot to dodge away, or someone turned over while they were still in base contact, or someone's trying to tie up my Storm Vermin with useless players. And you just aren't going to develop Storm Vermin that way.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. It's also easier to feed. I mean, a Storm Vermin. It's agility 3 means you can give them a handoff. Movement 7
isn't a slouch, man.
No, it's pretty quick. I mean, they are one of the quickest teams. So
yeah, I
just to get back to the team real quick, I just liked that he's already going for the 50-50 split on the gut runners, basically. So 2 with block and 2 with wrestle. So 2 that are actually ball carriers and receivers, and 2 that are going more for the hunting route.
Yeah, I like this team a lot, and that's why I decided to call him out, because, as I say, he seems like a really good coach. He's already thinking about the future of our league, so he's clearly planning to stick around. And
yeah,
I don't know which. I'm assuming he's going to be G-Man because of the German names.
Yeah.
On his Storm Vermins, but wherever he goes, I think if he keeps developing his team as intelligently and keeps thinking about things like outside the box, I think he's going to have a good home wins.
Yeah, I agree. I'm excited to see what more comes from this coach, especially since having
he's kind of also offered to admin our free agent market if he actually goes ahead with it, which is kind of insane for a newer coach.
Yeah.
To put like that much effort in, so yeah, I'm super happy with that.
Yeah.
So do you know if he had a thrower and just lost him? That's what I assume right now.
No, I don't think he started with one.
I think he didn't have a thrower.
Okay. I think he did a 3 gutter runner start.
But yeah, I mean, Ninja Pirate Robo,
if you go with a red, if he started with a red ogre, you usually would start with 2 gutter runners, I think.
Yeah, and a thrower.
No, you can start 3 gunners with a rat ogre start. You got to remember, line rats are dirt cheap.
Yeah, true.
And even gutter runners, vanilla gutter runners are only like 90k. Or 80k, sorry.
Yeah.
Which is actually super cheap for a position.
No, for what you're getting, it's cheap.
The strength 2 and 87 bring down the price, probably.
Oh, definitely.
Well, it's what I was talking about in the Rel discussion, where armor value 7 instantly devalues the cost of, well, reduces the cost of a player.
Yep.
100% agreed. But that's I think that's gonna really call it for today, boys. We picked our picks. We looked at teams. We got
Yeah, we've had ourselves a day of days, boys.
Yeah, I like it. I can't wait to see these guys finally get into the big leagues
The big leagues,
and play some of their first matches out of the minors.
especially because they get to keep these teams. So this isn't just like hey, have a quick train. These guys are all for the trash can. Anyone who wants to come along, after the season with their team of choice that they've leveled up with
Oh,
care.
it's not even that. It is encouraged to please take these teams and go into the pros. Start to backfill some of those bottom divisions up and show people what you're made of.
Yeah, man. I'm
So,
looking forward to seeing what they can do.
yeah, me too. All right, guys.
And
Well,
again, if you're in this division, sorry, Gamba.
oh, no worries.
If you're in this division and haven't got a mentor, maybe you're struggling, maybe you've lost a couple of games, maybe you're like, I want to be on that recap being talked about, but I don't know what to do to get there because my team aren't really performing and things. Reach out to Walkathon. We're actually in discussion with Squiggy to have Squiggy involved with this as well, which is super awesome.
Yes.
But I can guarantee that even though he's not currently officially involved, if you ever need help with Blood Bowl, the man loves to talk about Blood Bowl.
I mean, Squiggy did organize the newbie league himself in the Blood Bowl subreddit.
Well, season 1 had 12 to 14 coaches. Season 2 has 72 coaches of the Reddit Rookie League.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous.
Well, what's even more ridiculous is that if everything pans out the way we're discussing it with Squiggy, the Reddit Rookie League is potentially going to be folded into the Rebel Rookie League.
Ah, nice.
So all 72 of those coaches could potentially be flying under the Rebel flag next season.
And that'd be beautiful. And now we need a real flag.
Well, that's why the t-shirt design competition's open. You might be a rookie, you might be new, you might be a newbie, but you can join the t-shirt contest.
Join now.
Good segue there, Gamba. Well done.
Yeah, I was about to say. Now I wanna put out the Rebel Needs You poster again. Sign up now.
I've got a super good idea for that, by the way. I'm gonna throw something together in Photoshop and send you it.
Okay.
And I've got a super good idea for that I was not gonna put on a t-shirt because it will suck on a t-shirt, but I think is really, really good otherwise. So I'm gonna send you something real quick.
We're gonna need to do branding because, like I said, next season it's one of those we're gonna hopefully go big or go home kind of things. But that's for another video, guys. It's been like almost 4 hours, and
remember when this was the quick video?
remember when we didn't have over 100 people and the videos didn't take 3 hours long to make? Remember that? Pepperidge Farm remembers.
You remember? I remember.
I remember. Remember
Yeah,
when videos took an hour to do? I remember that. That was fun. Yeah, I remember. Alright, guys. We'll see you all next time.
Stay classy, folks.
Bye.